20, yeah, it's a bit chill. My kids will say it's a bit chill. After 20 years, you want to be a woman for 10 years, and then you can revert to being a man, and then you will understand why it's so important for us to make all the noise when it's International Women's Day, when it's Mother's Day. Everything that has to do with a woman is very special. And I mean, we can't underestimate it, and we cannot talk about it enough. And you have to deal with it if you're a man, because that's who we are. We're strong. Someone says woman, she says, of course I am a woman. I am a multitasker, and that's so true. She's like, but how would you have about 15 minutes to iron, and all you do is spend the time ironing? No, you're ironing, you flip the egg, you heat this, you do all of it at the same time. Within the 15 minutes you would have done God knows how many things. And then you're wondering how many other people, not shading anybody, how many other people are able to do that. It's just women. And for me, this whole month is International Women's Month. Honestly, so we will be celebrating ourselves and actually talking about the strength of women out there. Let me say a very big thank you to all of you, and welcome to Home Affairs. My name is Edem Knight-Tay. Always a pleasure to be serving you family lessons on this network, Joy 99.7 FM. Home Affairs is brought to you by Amasha Partners Limited and I Care. Dano Milk, choose tasty milk, choose nourishment, choose Dano Milk, go for it. Vitamilk, indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good everywhere, anytime. If you have seen our flyers out there, last week we said ahead of International Women's Day, and then Theresa Ayoade was here in the studio with two other ladies, and we had conversations ahead of International Women's Day. Now, yesterday, where did I bring my book inside? Oh my God! Yesterday we had we celebrated International Women's Day, and right from I think the 6th or so, um, there were lots of activities commemorating, International Women's Day. And yesterday we were part of, the National Women's Summit. I was honored to host it once again, and it was really, really good. The stories that were shared to inspire, especially the young ones that were in the room, and even for ourselves, very, 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 very intriguing stories. And you might want to go back and see the playback of all of those, and then you will be able to pick one or two from it. But today, on the back of International Women's Day, yesterday the Executive Women's Network launched, a journal. And it's a very beautiful book. Yesterday I went home and I was flipping through the book with my daughter. So when she saw the content, she was like, "Oh, mommy, this is a lot of read." I said, "I know, but we will read it anyway." Then we started flipping. Then she said, "Hey, mommy, there's homework." What I said. That child is everything. She says, "There's homework." Oh, wow. Then we flip through. Then she says, but it's a workbook, and there's not so much to read. I said, "That's true. We went through it." And then she said, "Please, can you give me yours and get one for yourself?" I said, this one was endorsed for me. So, and I told her how Janet says that she is going to like it. So now I have to buy one for her. The others haven't seen it. When they see it, I'm sure they will also say that they want it, because it will make you want to put down notes. It will guide you, and it's a good one. We'll get into it, but let me say good morning to you, and you're welcome to Home Affairs.
Thank you so much, Edem.
Thank you, Edem.
Great. This morning, I have one of my favorite girls with me in the studio, Regina.
Yes.
Regina has been on every other platform here on Joy FM except mine. So today I'm happy to have her on Home Affairs. Daniela, please, can you help me push this chair away so that I can see her properly? So this morning, I have the chairperson of the executive committee of the Executive Women's Network, CEO Jinem Salon and Spa, and that's Janet Sunkwa Mills. And then I also have Regina Ofuri, head digital sales, digital marketing, Ecobank Ghana, and group marketing. And then I have Joyce Ijari, regional consultant, West Africa Scholastic Incorporated. Did I get it right?
You sure did.
All right. Thank you very much. I think we have had some conversations before.
Yes, we have. A long time ago.
Yes,
I think you
it
were
was
hosting the
around La
program.
Palm.
That is Labadi Beach
L-
Hotel.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. That's
Wow,
true.
you have great memory. after, after meeting so many people.
Yes, 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 that's true. I think,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was still a conversation with the Executive Women's Network. I used to do, International Women's Day, and then they abandoned me. Now that I have you back, I'm not letting you go.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, good morning again. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Before we get into this book, there's something that I would want us to talk about, because I know you're all family women as well, and you're all big women as well, and doing very well in your fields of endeavor. Now, I have, and this has been on my heart. Last week I mentioned it to the team that was here as well, that I have quite a number of young women that I speak to, mentor, and all that, and it is as though once you're a woman, you're in school, you have a lot of dreams. When you're in school, you're babbly, you have a lot of dreams. I want to do this, I want to do this. And then there is also that aspect of your life, which is settling down and doing family. So, what it is seeming like is you have everything going for you until you get married and have children. Once the kids come in, then it is like there's a pause on your life, because then you have to juggle yourself as an individual. You have to juggle with your husband. That's a full-time project as well. You have to now juggle with the child or the children, the home as well, and then you have a job to take care of. And in this modern Ghana, you certainly may have to have a side hustle as well, because you need to make ends meet. And this is one person. So you are in the middle, as oh, Devil, this child of mine. I said, I was very tired one of the days. She says, Mommy, rest. You're only a girl. So you have this one girl here, and you have all of these things demanding your attention. And some way, somehow, you are expected. Even if no one is expecting it of you, you expect it of yourself to excel at all of them. And you have been through it. How have you done it? We need to pick those notes, and then we can talk about the journal. So that is my request before we get into the journal. And let me start with you, Janet.
Oh, thank you, Edem. It's such a pleasure to be here and to see you bubbling with life. I mean, it fills me with pleasure.
Thank you.
When we entered the studio, there was a song playing, The Strength of a Woman.
by Shaggy.
And don't ever underestimate the strength of a woman.
True.
You know, I believe strongly, and I say it everywhere, that as women, we are naturally endowed with resilience. We're naturally endowed with tenacity. We're naturally resourceful. The reason being that of the two genders, we are the ones who birth. We are the ones who incubate. And if you understand the word incubate, just watch a hen, how it sits on this nest, its eggs, and nestles them, and the way it protects, it fends for them and everything. So I don't want to compare ourselves to animals, but we're part of nature. And within that environment, we are naturally, is within us inherently, all those qualities I've mentioned. So certain things come to us naturally. The men also have certain things that come to us naturally. But sometimes we are overwhelmed with a lot of things, so we don't sit, reflect, and hone in into those qualities that we are naturally endowed with. That's number one. Now, for me, I also have children. I've been married for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
My husband and I, we've known each other close to 40 years, and we've been hustling together.
I know, right?
And my life, I mean, 22 years in corporate life, I think more than half of it was as an expat, traveling with I have two boys, traveling with them and I understand hustle.
Wow.
And I've watched my grandmother look after her children. She had 10 of them. Look after her grandchildren, look after her nieces, her nephews, and the hustle was real. And we were all, from the get-go, made to understand that hard work pays off. and that you had to juggle a lot of things. So I have grown up, and my mother equally, I have grown up understanding that juggling comes to us naturally. I think sometimes it is when we stress that we get overwhelmed. I feel that we just have to pace ourselves. Last year, we had a Fireside Chat, Executive Women Network, and the theme was, or the topic was, can women have it all? And then finally, the conclusion was that, yes, we can have it all, but not all at once. The pace and the cycles of women are quite different from that of men. Like I said, last week I was listening to CNN, and there was a feature on South Korea. The birth rate had gone down to 0.47%. What is essential for the world to run around the way we want it to is a birth rate of 2.5%. So 0.47% is scary. But when they went in there, they realized that women were pursuing their education, they pursuing their careers. It's difficult for them to combine being parents, looking after children, and work and everything. But in Africa, I cast my mind back to Africa. I was in the open market. These women, within the open market, she's braiding hair, she's making sure the child is fed, she's doing this, she's doing everything. So for us in Africa, it's no news. And yesterday, at the National Summit, there was one of your panelists from Switzerland. And she was saying what we are describing sounds all like news to her.
She couldn't relate.
Yes, because she comes from a background where access to education is there. There's no discrimination whether you're a boy or a girl and everything else. But in Africa, girl, we know this hustle and we're used to it. Well, what I would encourage our listeners, don't be overwhelmed. Just pace yourself one step at a time. And once you understand that you can have it all, but not all at once, I think it makes it easier on you.
Great. Thank you very much. My take home is women can have it all, but not all at once. You take it one at a time. And I dare add that, like yesterday, Professor Nanaba Vyamfo mentioned, if you need to get help, you've got to get help.
Yes.
You know, otherwise you will be overwhelmed. And sometimes you know that the homes we come from, the people we deal with are different. I have one of these young women who tell me her husband says no house help whatsoever, and so they will do it together. We will do it together means that he will try to do about 20% of the work, and then the rest of the 80 is on your head. Meanwhile, you both have regular jobs that you have to go to, you know, and it's very challenging. So for such a person, she's just considering turning her side hustle into a full-time hustle, and then she will be home, you know, she'll have good enough time to take care of the 2 children they have. Will that make you fulfilled? No, because I love to work in the bank and I would love to pursue that, you know, to the highest level. But as it were right now, he doesn't want us to have other people giving so many examples about the fact that you leave your children in the care of other people. You're not sure what they are giving them. You're not sure what this, and, you know, fear mongering. And so you will have to think about quitting so that you can stay at home and take care of the children. And some people really have to deal with very hard stuff that some of the things we say to them don't even just work.
Yeah.
Let me come to you, Regina.
Hi, Edem.
Hi. I know you also juggle a lot. So how are you doing it? Maybe somebody hearing it from you and knowing that, okay, yeah, it's happening.
No, I think my point is the point you made earlier. Don't be afraid to seek help. I have twins. I'm a mother of twins, a boy and a girl.
Oh, you and I.
And so I remember when I realized I was going to have twins, the first thing I told myself was, how am I going to work? Wow. Because I was planning for one. Then suddenly I'm told that I should expect another, you know. It didn't come easy. And I remember vividly when the doctor said, I screamed in the doctor's office. And he asked, why don't you like it? I'm like, I do, but
Did you have
deep
one ahead
down,
of the twins?
no.
Oh, that
So
was your
the twins
first.
were my first. So again, it was everything that came with having the first being two, right? But when I left that place, in my mind, it was two things for me. I either should be ready to take care of them, or I need to look for help. And I think my best option for me was I was going to look for help. But then I was going to also prioritize my work such that I can be there for them. So in my mind, whilst I need help, I was also thinking through how I can support. Because I didn't want to be an absentee mother, right? I needed to be there for my children. But I was not afraid to discuss with my husband and let him understand that I don't want to take a career break. That was my option. So I know colleagues who actually took a break. Mine was not to break, but was to look for help that was good enough, as though I was there. And help doesn't have to be a house help. It could be your mother-in-law, it could be your mom, it could be an auntie. It doesn't have to be a help. I think that's where we need to, because my help is actually my mom. My mom is the one that decided to help me with my kids. So I'd always told my friends that I said yes to my mom because I said, look, if I'm the worst product that she ever produced, then this is my baseline for my children. This is the worst they can be. So when I add mine on top of that, they'll be better, right? So this is, when you look at me, this is her product, basically. And this is what, and even if I'm not there, this is how my children will turn up to be. So I went for help. And I've always had help from day one. So I remember when my twins were 6 weeks, I went for this all-night party. One of my bosses was leaving. And then at around 1 a.m., she asked, how old are your twins? I said 6. She said, and you are still here? I said, yes, my mom is there. I mean, that's just by the side. But I was so confident in the help that I had that I could do anything. After the twins, I went on an expatriation in Nigeria. So I left Ghana. And I was okay. I moved with them. My mom came along with me. So she opted to take a break instead of me. Because her point was, look, I am, in fact, retired, basically doing these things on the side. And she'll tell you that I don't need anything. I just need to take care of my grandchildren. Once I can feed, I'm okay. I'd rather you, the young person, you work and take care of yourself and your family. And I also have my husband who would support. So when my mom is not there, my husband is there. And for your friend that you described, really, I think sometimes we need to speak out and speak about these things. If the man doesn't want you to have help, yet he is only willing to take 20%, then he's not being, I don't want to say fair, but I think he is not being empathetic enough. He needs to be empathetic enough. Put yourself in the shoe of that lady, that woman, and see how she's feeling. So for me, I'll tell young ladies, mothers listening to us, you cannot do it all. Get help. Also love the journey. Just go through the journey and know that the children will grow, by the way. They will not always be like this. So be careful not to take hasty decisions today, because then when they grow, then you can't come back. Sometimes it's difficult to bounce back and you begin to blame them, even for decisions you took. So think through it and manage the situation. Like Janet said, pace it out. Don't take everything in all the time. Sometimes you need to slow down. Other times, maybe you get some help that makes you speed up. Just begin to love the journey. When you have to slow down, slow down. If you get a sister or someone that comes in for a month or two that allows you to be on the speed lane, take that opportunity and do that. But don't stress out. Life really happens. They will grow. By all means, they will grow. So be sure that the decision you are taking today, you won't regret it when they grow tomorrow. So do it your way, but love the journey, because look, it comes with us. We are women and nothing will change that. Thank you.
Thank you. I love the bit about loving the journey. You know, sometimes, especially in the case of children, when they are that little, they can be very stressful.
Yeah.
But then before long, you're missing out on that stage of their lives.
Yes.
A male friend of mine sent a message and said, oh, Edem, I'm having sleepless nights now because I have another baby. And I said, enjoy every step of it, because they will grow. Now I get home and those people, they are asleep and they can't even be bothered about you sometimes. Sometimes they will have to, you get home and they're busy with their books and they'll just casually come and say, "Oh, hi, mommy, see you later," and then they go back to their books. So enjoy every step of the journey,
Yeah.
and indeed, seek help. Regina, is it in the case of this person? Is it allowed for you to be, I don't know the right word to use, but for you to be rebellious at some point and say that regardless, I am going to get help, even if it would tell on your relationship?
I wouldn't say,
Because there are some
I
people
wouldn't
who are
say
very
rebel.
unreasonable.
Yeah, I do. I know that. I wouldn't say rebel. I think you need to find a place where you can connect with people and get them to understand you. Because when you come from a point of rebellion, I mean, you're really saying it's me against you, and the person will push back harder, right? So I think finding a way around that person and look, all of us have soft spots. Make sure you can connect with the person, let the person understand you. It might take a while for you to get around that person, but it's a better place to start. Because in all this, I do believe that your friend would love to keep her home, would like to make sure that the children are happy, and she's not even more depressed and stressed. Because once that you rebel and the husband start doing the same, it's the toll on you emotionally is too much. It becomes worse, right? Because all you're trying to do is to get help, and then suddenly this guy is upset about everything. Then all other things that you could have for free and still have fun with also become an issue. So do not rebel. I will not do that. But I think find a way to speak to him and let him understand. And sometimes it's also you test and try some of these things, right? So it may just be a niece or so come over the weekend and do something for
Support
you. And you put in that little cues of and clues of see how she's able to do this. It's when she came, at least I've been able to have time with you, some quality time. It's those little hints. You can begin to test and try some of these solutions. So you don't go all out and say, well, whether you like it or not, I've brought my niece, she's going to help. No. But your niece have time. So this weekend, my niece is spending time with me. From Friday to Sunday, the guy sees that, look, suddenly you have time for yourself. You're actually looking better. Maybe you have time to go out and all that. So because she's here, we can do this more. Maybe next time when she comes, we do this. These are also things he'll see. He'll see the changes. And look, there's good in every person, and I'm sure that guy could come around one day. It might not be soon, but it does happen. But rebellion, I don't think is the best.
I like this. Because you know how it's out there that women who are flying high and all that don't know how to keep their homes, they are disrespectful, and I'm sure you hear that. Yes. So for this high flying woman to be saying these things, you don't have to rebel, but there is a way that you can butter the person up, get them to come along gradually and get it done. I love this advice, honestly.
Thank you. We do it all the time in the office. We say get people's buying, right?
I know.
Get their buying. You don't force things.
Yeah.
No.
You just make them understand the whys and all that, and they get their buying. So
I love it. And these are obviously people with brains in their heads.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that they married you. Nigerians will say to come and suffer you.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
I'm not sure that's but
Yeah.
it's always about the approach.
Yeah.
So approach it properly. And like we always say on this program, some of these conversations we should have them way ahead of the marriage.
Good advice, actually, because Edem, you know what is happening sometimes when we pursue our education and it gets to a certain time of our lives, you say the biological clock is ticking. So if you're interested in settling down, you're in a hurry to settle down, you meet a man, you don't let the man discover who you are truly. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
So the man, yes, he thinks, okay, I found a woman who is easily adaptable to my desires. So then he gets married to you. And then he discovers, no, this lady is not like that. She's career oriented. She's this, she's this, she's this. And meanwhile, you didn't unveil yourself to this man. Vice versa. So I always say that courtship is very, very important before marriage. Discover yourselves. Let to understand what makes you tick, what doesn't make you tick. Is this the man I'm going to be coupled with? Is he somebody I can have a meaningful conversation with? It's interesting when you were talking, like I said, my career, most of it is as an expert.
Right.
There was never a decision I made about my career that was not made with my husband.
Exactly.
There are some women out there, it's my career, it's my choice, what have you got to do with it? No, that is not meaningful conversation.
It's not.
So I don't want to say he approves everything before I do, but we get to make a joint decision. There's something called joint effort we'll talk about.
Yeah.
We get to make the decision together,
Mhm.
right? And when I'm there, therefore, he understands that, oh, Janet, we go through this. My mom was with me on most of my trips, whether it's in Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Kenya.
Yeah.
My auntie also came. There was never a time that I didn't have a help from Ghana.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So ask for help. Anybody who is out there to say, I can do it alone, think again. And
Great.
any man who is saying you should do it alone, that man is not right for you. Because guess what? After some time, when the children, they're out of the nest, you begin to say, why didn't I do this? I wanted,
Exactly.
and you, in fact, it's
Exactly.
not the children that you will hate. You will hate the man.
Exactly.
And very soon divorce comes in.
Exactly.
So I just want to encourage men out there. If you know you're coupled with a lady who is career oriented among others, please let her be. Try to understand her.
Let her be. You know, when I was driving and I drove and I parked, and then someone parked behind me. Then I got out of the car, and then he said, "Hi, you must be Edem. I think my mom is on your show." I said, "Oh." Which of them is your mom? Then she said, "Joyce." I said, "Oh, okay." You have a grown man.
I do. Yes. I have 2 grown kids.
Wow.
And 3 grandchildren.
Oh, tell me about it.
I know, right?
You don't look it all.
So they say. Plenty grace. I'm not going to sit here and say I did this and I did that. Yes, plenty grace. I've been through it all, managing the kids. But my story is a little different and interesting. When we finished university, went to the UK for a bit, and when we came back, the first really nice job I got was being appointed as the first billing manager for Mobitel, which is now Airtel Tigo. Very, very nice job with all the perks that would come with, something like that. I did it for a year, but I left it because of the kids. Yeah.
How so?
Because they had bought this billing software from California or some other place, and it required me staying overnight every month. Yes, and I had my kids and they were young, and I thought, this is not what I really want. We had that conversation at home. So I moved to work at a school that gave me all the holidays so that I can be with the kids.
Exactly.
But a great school,
Yeah.
where the money was good.
Equally good.
Yes, where the money was good.
Yeah.
And did that for 10 years, did full circle, and now we have our own. My husband was running our family business. And when it was okay enough for me to leave work, and come to support the family business, I did. So did that full circle back into what you'd call, we're a publishing company. Got into corporate full time. So there are different ways of managing this, but like the ladies are saying, it's conversations, okay, and try and have them definitely before the marriage. And when you are in it and it's a difficult conversation to have, my recommendation is always approach it with what would be advantageous for them if you did those things, because they will understand it better. So assuming you say, oh, then we can have a nice weekend together if we did this and that. Yeah. Then I can have a little bit more, time for us to go watch a movie or so once you begin to talk about what would be good for him, hopefully he might understand. But sometimes it's incredibly difficult. And I think that you can look at the various chores at home and separate them out in such a way that when the help is coming in for a particular task, it's not so bad. They don't want somebody to come in to stay with you. Maybe have a cleaner who comes over the weekend They are not a living, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take your laundry to rapid wash. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I'll have someone come in to do the hand washing for you.
Yeah.
You have to sit down and understand exactly what your husband doesn't want and why they don't want it. And look and see whether you can bring in specific kinds of help for specific tasks. Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about getting somebody to come in to do the prepping for you. I kind of invest in appliances that support me. I will always have a 5 or 6 burner because I want to stand there if I'm cooking and make sure that
You're
I'm doing
cooking
everything at the
everything.
same time.
One hour,
By the time-
one
yes,
hour she's
and-
done with
yes,
5 meals.
Exactly.
Same
exactly.
here.
Yes.
Yeah, so you might think, oh, this is a luxury item. Not for me.
Yeah.
This is a necessity.
Yes.
I told them yesterday, and I always have a single, burner,
stove, yeah.
electric stove. So if it gets crazy in a particular week, and no, everybody forgot to go buy gas or what have you. So long as I have power, if I run out of gas, I'm putting
You
it
just
on that.
switch.
No
So I
stress,
kind of
no
fit the
stress.
house. I fit the house like that. Yes, you get an air fryer because when you put the thing in it and you time it, it won't burn.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it's very helpful.
And
to
you
just
don't have to
sit
be
down.
standing there flipping
Yeah.
things.
No.
Yeah.
And
Think
it's how
about your
somebody
life.
actually
It
shared,
helps.
just
Yes.
one lady shared a nugget with me, and is it a nugget? No, a hack.
Hack.
Yeah.
Now this
Okay.
is,
Hack.
that's what they
Hacks,
call it,
yeah.
right? It's a hack. So the 6 burner, and you have everything there. So
Yep.
she said, Janet, in your freezer, do you label? I said no. She said label, pack and label. So like my son is in
I do
medical
that.
school now, and every week, contomere fro, goat stew, Mom, I want this. I want it's like 6 or 8 items.
Yeah.
So I stand behind the 5 burner and cook everything.
At the
Of
same
course,
time.
the most difficult part of cooking is
Is
the
the
prepping,
prepping.
the
Yes.
onion, the peeling,
Exactly.
the
Chopping.
so I get
Yeah.
somebody
Come
to
and
help
do
you
that.
do that
All the
part.
chopping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the recipe itself is in the mixing. So when you come into my freezer, you see Brian Contomre, 20th March 2014. Daddy, chicken stew. This. And so my freezer is open. So, I found it so easy. So when I go to my freezer, Brian wants food. Oh, yeah. And there's a section in the freezer. This is Brian's compartment. This is Daddy's compartment.
And this is your
And this is
compartment.
in my compartment. There's really
There-
nothing.
there's nothing
There's
there.
Chopped,
I can imagine.
There's chopped carrots and and
It
stuff
helps.
like that. So the thing is, put your mind to it. Be mindful
Exactly.
that you need help. The same way you plan yourself in your organization, in your business, apply the same thing home. And you see that some things can be pretty smooth, And really, if you, like my husband and I, we say put together, if the two of you are put together, there are some things that, in fact, something happened in Kenya as an expatriate. And I learned such a very good lesson. What happened? That he came to visit. He visited almost every quarter, and I set the dining table. Daddy has come, blah blah blah. And I took a bottle of wine, and I was going to open it. And then he said, "Janet." I say, "Yes." He said, "Janet," and I say, "Yes." What's up? He said, "Janet, I'm here." I said, "Hey, I know you're here. You know the story. What he was telling me. How come I'm sitting here and you are opening a bottle of wine?" Because he would have done that, but because I'd been
On your own.
I was doing everything. So when you come out, of course I can change the lights when the bulb and everything. I don't do it. It is his department. So in our home, I'll tender the garden. Gas in here, daddy. Light, she daddy.
Yeah.
Nobody even comes to ask me.
Yeah.
So it takes time to cultivate. And you see that the roles and responsibility somehow would naturally emerge, and you don't have to do everything yourself. Honestly.
We default to these things. And I think it's also the issue of us trying to be too perfect, if there's a word like that.
Exactly.
We want to be too perfect. Like, we want to be this excellent mother. And Charlie, there's nothing like that, man. Life happens. Just enjoy it. Look, there are times that if I were not coming here today, and if I didn't have anything, I'll be in bed till like 11. It's not that I don't have work to do. But look, I am tired. So usually when I get that, the children will start clapping and say, the beauty, Is this your
Sleeping
beauty
Beauty.
sleep or Sleeping Beauty? Is that they'll start laughing, but I don't care. I'll get down. We'll work together. Whatever
Exactly.
has to be done. If I don't get it done, I'll continue tomorrow.
Some other
There's this
time.
thing
Yes.
about trying to look perfect. Somebody's
And
coming
doing
to you.
everything.
No,
I
you
have a
break
term.
down.
I have a term for
You
you.
break
Be
down.
King Kong.
Yeah, you
You know,
break
there's
down.
like-
Learn
used
to
to
be
be
a
these
queen.
movies.
Yeah.
It's a learn to be a
A
queen
queen.
at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Sometimes just
Yeah.
sit and cross your legs.
Exactly.
It's dirty here, okay, what?
Yeah, it's fine.
If it's not swept right now,
Sip some fruit
Nothing
juice,
will
get some
happen.
nice biscuit, have fun. It's not all about working and making sure that the home is perfect. You must be perfect. It starts with loving self first. I mean, like,
Don't kill
That's it.
yourself.
Don't.
Don't kill yourself being a woman.
You know this. I
Yes.
think that you people will have to be coming to this studio very often. You have to be coming here very often because you know when you were talking about the labeling and all that. When I show you my phone, the way I pack my meals, like you said, at my session, there really isn't. My kids say, "Mommy, you eat concoction." So the things that I eat are somewhere else, and then yes, like the prepping. You know when you ask people to go to the market for you these days, sometimes they feel like, oh, the things are expensive. Go and get them yourself. So you try to go and get the things, and then someone comes to do the prepping for you, and then you will cook with them, the children and everything. And then when you finish, you pack everything, you label everything. In fact, I have gone to the extent of getting colorful, storage bowls.
Exactly.
So you know the contumely is in a green one, this is in the yellow
Yeah.
one, this is in
Oh,
I'm telling
the
you.
tops,
So
yeah.
that also saves you from the labeling. So you know every green bowl in it has contumely. Every one
what,
of this
what
has
goes what
this.
goes into a ping bowl?
or jollof base.
I know. The gravy for the jollof. I'll show you. So it's really interesting. And sometimes you go like, what sort of life is this?
Yeah.
But then you take one day off to do all of these things. You stock your freezer with food and all that there is to be at home, and then you're able to go around and
Yeah.
do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Because what it is that we also enjoy the things we do.
Of
Yes.
We
course.
love our jobs.
Yes.
We love, the social life we have and everything.
Yeah.
And you don't want to miss out on any of
No.
them. So if I have to take a day or two, even if it means applying for, leave for just 2 days to
Can
be
do
able
that,
to make sure the home is catered to.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then you can go about doing the things you have to do. Yes, but like I said, you keep hearing and sometimes this person is unreasonable, this person is this person is that. I mean, but you need to find ways around it.
course.
I have a 4 burner,
must,
and then you see the small ones they used to cook the banku.
Uh-huh.
I have about 3 of them as
Oh,
well.
wow.
So you are burning all 7 at the same time. Because
That's
you
the
have
trick.
told yourself
And yet you
that
go to work in high heels and like
tell
nothing
you.
ever happened.
You rock it.
you want to use 3 hours around here to do what you're doing.
Exactly.
So you're burning everything. Someone has done the prepping. You finish. You make them cool off a little. You pack them. Oh, your freezer is looking nice. Sometimes I take photos and I go like,
Look at you. Look
3
at
days
you.
ago, I told a friend of mine that for the next 6 weeks, I am going to be very disrespectful. Then the person said, I said, my freezer, everything is stocked with food. And it's interesting how some of these little things can
Yes.
make us happy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
free
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
But thank you all so much for coming to share this morning. Like it's really so good. We'll be going on to talk about, the journal very soon, and looking through it, it is all part of what we are saying.
Exactly.
Planning your life
Yeah.
and making sure that I love the bit about celebrating your wins. The little things you have done and you have
Yeah.
achieved.
Yeah.
Also put them down
Exactly.
and be very happy. So we'll get into talking about it really very, 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 very shortly.
As a woman,
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model, securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
There are moments in life when you're just so scared and you feel like just giving up. Oh, but Dino Milk is saying, we know that you can do it. Believe in yourself and then go for it. Go for it. Nourishmental, that is your Dino Milk. Oh.
Choose nourishment. Choose Dano Milk Whole Cow, your nutritious instant powdered milk.
Dano Milk. Go for it.
This advert is FDA approved.
Ophelia, did you brush your teeth before eating?
No, Mommy. Anytime I use Daddy's toothpaste, I get bruises in my mouth and sometimes I feel like vomiting.
That's not an excuse. As a child, you need to brush your teeth before you take your breakfast to avoid tartar and cavity, okay? And you, why are you laughing at your sister? Have you brushed your teeth?
Yes, Mom. I used the Kel Kids toothpaste you brought yesterday to brush my teeth.
Well done, darling. Kel Kids toothpaste is made for kids like you from 2 years to 6 years.
It was so sweet like strawberry. I even wanted to eat it, Mom.
No, you can't eat it. It's toothpaste, not toffee, okay? It's always advisable to give your kids Kel Kids toothpaste to brush their teeth. Kel Kids toothpaste strengthens teeth and prevents decay and cavities. As a mother, I always make sure my kids use Kel Kids toothpaste. Kel Kids toothpaste with strawberry flavor makes brushing exciting for our kids.
Kel, happy smart.
This advert is FDA approved.
Let me share my experience with you at the new Aqua Safari Resorts. When you arrive, you're greeted by warm smiles and introduced to your 24-hour butler who already has your itinerary sorted. Enjoy water sports activities like jet ski rides, kayaking, water sliding, flyboarding, and castnet fishing. You can even have your lunch here on the boat cruise. Let the tour guides take you through the sceneries of the mangrove forest, the friendliness of the animals, while you pet and feed them. We chose to have our breakfast with a beautiful sunrise right in front of our cabin.
Visit Aqua Safari Eco Resort in Ghana, bringing you closer to nature.
Hello, Ohima. Eti saying.
Ayo.
Na edahin.
Me kwatade.
Edi bensa.
Krachi. Obesuja na se obehwem kwem.
So, na se jane de wo so ayeden ankwan de obehwem kakra.
Anyway, me kope vitamin bi de ajojo makoma.
What a coincidence. Me so no na me koto, eno na me no.
Hey bra, we de wo boa.
Oh, ahon fe minti mi ntwa wontro.
Se wara.
Vitamilk no emu de he pa na we ni je ho.
Me pe Vitamilk banana any choco because I'm black and proud.
Hey, interesting. Me dey me a regular guy with lots of energy. So wow.
When you kapao.
So wow. I can see we have something in common. Ohima, yanko ni yanko try a Vitamilk connection. Wo de bo me kana metia. Anye bia se kwan down.
E kwan be.
Aha, na muni brebi. Vitamilk di foforo bia be kambusua ne ho aye friend Vitamilk strawberry. Vitamilk energy aduane abre biara. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
for staying tuned in. This is Home Affairs. And I have some of your messages pouring in. There must be a part 2. I really love your panel. I have learned a lot this morning. 6-burner stove, labeling food, career-oriented women can still have it both. Have help to take care of the children. Could be your mom. Lots of tips. Issy, that's it. This one says, if men are raised to at least understand or have a fair idea of how the cycle of women works through periods, pregnancy, birth, and after birth, just like they raise women to serve men, then maybe some of these basic tasks wouldn't be fought over. For starters, ambition, passion, success, wealth is not the birthright of men. I agree with you. However, the upbringing and the conditioning of the people, so people will have to be brought up, and conditioned to do so. A lot of miseducation was and is still part of our education. This is one of them. I also like my 5-burner. It makes cooking easier and faster. Life is not that complicated. The ways and beliefs of human beings make it so. Start doing the we instead of I in your relationship. It will help you. Thank you very much for that one. You have a more mature woman talking on your show who actually took their husband serious and with respect, and they also loved, okay, and took their wife serious as well consistently, and they are still married, some over 30 years. Of course, that's how it should be. Edem, good morning. I'm enjoying your show. Good morning to your ladies all in GH. Okay, good morning to Auntie Rita Gifty Men's who's doing the listening and also watching it in Accra. And this is from Jimmy Abel Grant. Edem, today the lady panel you have a spot on. Wisdom talks throughout. This is what we need to keep at home. So not the what? Who are entitled and must blame men for everything. Good job. Thank you. That's a very interesting terminology. Trust you're doing well, Edem. I am an ardent listener of this program and doing so now. Although today's topic isn't about breast cancer, I'll be glad if you can help protect the case of a lady who is neglected with a disease. I'm a health worker at Dodoa Hospital. Okay, I'll reach out to you when we're done. Eco Park. The Safari Valley Eco Park introduces the Safari Wild experience by creating an environment that fosters the harmonious cohabitation of forest, water, humans, and wildlife such as zebra, the sable antelope, the wallaby, fallow deer, Patagonian mara, and many others, where everyone can come and experience these majestic creatures at a starting price of 250 Ghana cedis and free for children up to 6 years. Only an hour's drive from Accra. It opens from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. With Safari Valley Eco Park, you and your children and your family can have a really good time. And for more information, visit safarivalleyresort.com and check out Safari Valley on Instagram, or you can call them on 059 691 4394. And the joy of every parent is to see their children cheerful and hearty. To achieve this desire, every parent needs to ensure that their children are given nutritious foods that has the essential nutrients and multivitamins which can promote their welfare. One of such nutritious beverages is Vitamilk Soy Milk Drink. Vitamilk Soy Milk is made from natural soybeans, which is a good source of protein, plant protein, vitamin B1 and B2, and Vitamilk has no artificial coloring, no artificial flavorings, and no preservatives. And for over 20 years in Ghana, Vitamilk soy milk has been consistent with its product's quality, sumptuous taste, and its vital nutritious benefits. Choose Vitamilk Champ for your children because it has plant protein and it is nutritiously amazing. It is also delicious and satisfying. Vitamilk also comes in its regular soy milk drink, Vitamilk, the multi-cereal with no caffeine. It comes in the choco flavor, banana and strawberry, and you can also have it in the 250 ml and Vitamilk 1 liter Tetra Pak. Vitamilk is indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good anywhere, anytime. Yafini Enterprise Insurance, leader in general insurance since 1924, celebrates 100 years anniversary with the Yafini Motor Insurance promotion. One lucky winner will get to drive off in a brand new Nissan Kicks SUV. First and second runner-ups will jet off to Dubai, all expense paid. To win, just purchase or renew your vehicle insurance with Enterprise between January and June 2024. Monthly raffle draws offer you lovely laptops, TVs, microwaves, refrigerators, and many others. Also win instant free fuel coupons and gifts. Visit any Enterprise Insurance branch or call your broker or agent directly on 0302634777. Number again is 0302634777. Experience the time-tested and truly trusted 100 years legacy of Ghana's oldest insurer. Terms and conditions apply. Enterprise Insurance, your advantage. The rich taste of Dano milk makes a perfect combination with your tea, your oats, your gari soakings, your cocoa, and all your other beverages to give you that great taste that you've always desired. Dano milk is a rich source of natural protein and fortified with vitamin A. It has several other vitamins and essential nutrients that keeps you nourished and healthy every day. Dano milk is also rich in protein, iodine, vitamin B12, calcium. Dano milk comes in different variants. Dano milk cool cow or plain powdered milk, Dano milk coffee 3-in-1, Dano milk chocolate 3-in-1, and Dano milk evaporated milk. Dano milk is affordable and in a shop near you. Choose tasty milk, choose nourishment, choose Dano milk. Dano milk, go for it. If you're just joining us, you have missed a lot. We have been talking to ladies from the Executive Women's Network. I have with me Janet Sunkomil. She is the chairperson. I have Regina Ofori. Regina is head of digital sales and group marketing at EcoBank. And then I have Joyce Ejari. Joyce is with Scholastic Incorporated. She's the regional consultant. West Africa Scholastic Incorporated. Let me go through that of Regina properly. Head digital sales, digital marketing, EcoBank Ghana, and group marketing. And we have shared some very, very important nuggets here. Being that woman, flying high, whilst you are on your career path, and also ensuring that your home is taken care of. Very, very, very beautiful nuggets. If you didn't join us from the beginning, at Joy 997 on Facebook and on YouTube, you can go back and listen to the whole conversation. When you're doing that, please have a pen and a paper with you because you will have to take a lot of notes. It will help you build your home. Now, we go into talking about this beautiful book. I got one, endorsed for me today. Please, are you taking this one from me? Oh, for Debelle. Wow, she's grateful. Okay, so let's get into it now. What inspired this to start with?
All right. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I think we've been on your show before talking about EWN, the Executive Women Network. There are around 220 of us. It's a not-for-profit organization of women leaders in the corporate entities as well as entrepreneurs, women-owned and women-led businesses. And we have several activities, and in fact, the core of what we do is to inspire, empower, and support each other in EWN. It's such a great sisterhood. But among the things we do to empower and inspire ourselves is a conference. We hold a conference every 2 years. And last year we had one in November. Over 500 women were in attendance. And it was themed Be Intentional About Transformation. And we had about 20 panelists, very seasoned panelists from Ghana and beyond Ghana. Amongst them, there were 4 men as well, which was the first time. And the nuggets that came out of that conference were simply incredible. We could not ignore those nuggets. And hitherto, you go to a conference and you come out and you're not sure what you took out of the conference or how even the key takeouts will remain relevant with you. And so we quickly put the nuggets together. There were 20 of them. And then we shared them on our social media platforms. And we said, no, let's go beyond that. And let's go beyond that is the journal. And the journal, the brainchild behind the journal is Joyce Ajari here. So together we put the nuggets together, but the brainchild, Joyce said, you know what, Janet, let's translate these nuggets into a journal. So Joyce, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Janet. So, this is something that we do at EWN. Women who work in different spaces with different competencies. And my area is publishing. We're content providers. We take what's happening around, or you envision a thought or a goal, and you can turn that into a book. So looking at the nuggets, I thought that it would be a great idea to hold on to them for God knows how long. And the way that we were going to do that as a publishing house was to turn each one into a series of exercises and give women the opportunity to journal so that they can document how they're feeling about certain things, certain core areas in their lives, and also go back to look at some of the things they have written down and the experiences that they were having at a particular time and what they have done with those experiences. So that's how it happened. There were 20 of them, like Janet said, but we're not going to be able to have 20 in a book. It would have been difficult to carry it around. So we had to look at women and what they might be able to slip into their handbag, right? I remember Janet asking, would it fit into our handbags? So we took every single nugget and it got broken down into, smaller thoughts where women can sit and pretty much interview themselves. It's like you're sitting and you have a chair right in front of you. It's empty, but you are sitting there next to yourself, running through these exercises and figuring out what your thoughts are, what your journey has been like, and how you can gather the necessary support to carry on. So for instance, you'd want to first of all define your whys. So why am I here? What am I doing? What are my goals and aspirations? Not too long ago we were talking about how some women feel that once they get married, it's like the end of them. Not exactly. It's a conversation that you should have, and you need to break that down into actionable steps and figure out which ones you're able to go with and which ones are not necessarily part of your journey. So that's what it is. You define those things and then you seek support so that you can carry on and hit some goals. Again, if you've experienced trauma, it's good to name what this trauma is. Where did it come from? How did it happen? How did you react to it? Were you able to, to go through it unscathed? If you did, is it not important for you to maybe go seek therapy or counseling. See, sometimes our lives are so busy. We were talking about that not too long ago. It's very important that you recharge. So the journal is a self-care statement. It's time for me, Joyce, it's time for me, Janet, it's time for me, Regina, to take a little bit of time out of my very busy schedule and recharge. Think about where I've been and where I'm going and how I'm going to get there. Because there's a lot of frustration associated with, having a fair sense of what you think you might want to do and not sitting down and planning towards it and figuring out whether you really are on that journey or not. That can make you go bonkers, because then you begin to blame everybody. Is it the kids or this and so on and so forth. So it's that intentional journey, that transformational journey, that effort that you're putting in, but it's a little dissipated, like all over the place. But this time it's more consistent, it's orderly. You can look at your history, see how far you have come, celebrate those wins, and then move on. It is also about joint effort, for instance. Joint effort, there's a chapter in there, it's one of the nuggets, is about not, having this feminist jargon. What is it?
Feminazi.
Yes. Feminazis. It's about recognizing that you, as a woman, you will ride on the shoulders of other women and men as well.
Yes.
And having this good understanding and translating some of these things, even as you bring up your boys, because some of us have sons, right? So all these things are important conversations. It's just EWN saying, together with Smartline, that please recharge. Please have your conversation. You are much, much better at giving what you possess. Because if you don't have it, you just can't. So it really is asking you, it's a bank, right? Put stuff there. Think about who you are and all that, and there's tech savvy. There are all kinds of things in it. I mean, how well are you even using your mobile phone and things like that? So there's so many different areas of it. I know that my sisters are here, and we've been talking about this journal, and they've been through some of the chapters, so they will also comment on certain parts of it. But in a nutshell, that's all we are saying. Women, EWN members, women, even men, come on board with us and let's have these one-on-one conversations with ourselves so we can be bigger and better, serve ourselves well, and serve humanity well.
Thank you so much. And I think everybody should have, a copy of this book.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't share it with anybody.
No, you can't.
It's a very personal thing.
Yes, it's a very personal thing. Yeah.
I have tried to write a book, and it'll be out hopefully in June.
Congratulations.
So when I saw it, I went like, this is exactly what I'm talking about, because it has spaces for notes like that. And it's very personal, such that you can't share with anybody. This is one thing that especially for people who don't really like to read, right? You take time off, you go and sit at the beach, at the pool, or you just want time for yourself. You want to have this. We talk about journaling a lot, but there are lots of people who don't even know where to start from or what to do. This is a good way, because like my daughter said, it's homework. You carry it, and this is you. Instead of going to pour out to somebody who may not be emotionally stable enough to even listen to you. I'm sure after doing this work for yourself, you will see what sort of professional help you may even need, and you will be able to go to the right persons, other than just ranting and pouring out everywhere. So you should be able to get this book. I'll tell you how you can get it, but Regina, I'm sure you have some notes to share on it as well.
Yes, so I think for me, when I think of the journal, what comes to my mind is basically writing down things so we can remember, right? And when I was coming this morning, I was looking at even what scripture says about writing. There's a lot of commands in the Bible that God commands people to write it down. And Bible scholars will tell you that God encourages men and women in the Bible than to write, because when you write things down, you remember. If you look at Luke 14:28-31, it talks about if someone wants to build a tower, won't you sit down, think through the cost, the materials that you need, so that when you start, you will finish, so that men will no more catch you. Again, it says that if a king wants to go to war, won't you sit down, assess the strength of the opponents and all the things you're taking to war, so that you win. That's the same thing that we are doing for ourselves. Because we just have to sometimes pause, take a break, think about the self, and write things out. Personally, I noticed that I always say that, I don't like writing, but the few things I write, I do. What it tells me as a person is that the more I write, I can do more. So when I saw this, I was very excited about it, that we are able to have time for ourselves and do that. Yesterday at the National Summit, one of our members, Sister Yvonne, said that one of the things that we should remember all the time, for everybody, this is not just for women, that even the tankers, the petrol tankers that move around, they carry fuel, but they stop and fuel. And I was like, wow.
Yes, I remember that.
So the petrol tankers are on the street, they are going to wherever it is to dump fuel, but they stop and fuel. So think about it. So we cannot move without stopping. Let's stop and think about it. There's so many things here. There's a place about speaking out, where you are actually talking about your experiences. And as Sister Joyce said, this is you being frank with self, writing them down. What are some of the experiences that you've had that is holding you back as a person? Sometimes they are internal restrictions that we put on ourselves, internal stereotyping. We criticize ourselves. It's not anybody saying something. It is the voice in your head that is telling you that you can't be this, you can't do this, and therefore you're always opting yourself out instead of opting yourself in. So when you are called to do something, you're looking at the next person. But please, I think Edem is best for this. How do we count ourselves in? You need to be frank with yourself. Write these things down. Some of them may be painful, but going through the pain helps you to overcome some of those things, so that we can always talk to yourself, reprogram and tell yourself that I am good enough, I can do this. I take inspiration from Edem that I think can do better. If Edem can do it, I can do that. You then begin to work with people, collaborators, who can help you. Do you need to seek help from Sister Janet? Is it Edem that you need? You write all those things down, and then you get to a better you, a better self. So this is a book that men, we must get it for our children. Yesterday, the first thing I did when I go home, I gave it to my son. And I was just watching his reaction. He said, Mom, when we are doing our classwork, you also be doing work with us. So when you said your daughter said homework, I was telling Janet, I see what I said. It's for me, I think it's fun. Yes. Because it won't be, it's me really thinking about, in fact, some of the things I've not thought of. There are so many things that we gloss over. But once we have the book, because there was a part that asked about successes you've had through joint collaboration. So I'm like, okay, I've not actually thought about it. But then I'll begin to think and write. So the next time I'm looking for somebody to help me do something, at least in the book, top of mind, I know 1 or 2 places I can go because I have them written down. And it helps me to remember. So it's a great resource for all of us. Please get it. I have my copy. And just see us. There's more from where this is coming from.
And Edem, may I add, Regina, talking about seek help, that part in the journal was curated from a panel of 4 psychologists specialized in that, with over 100 years combined worth of experience. Can you imagine the power behind that? And there's a section that talks about coloring outside our lines. By Taka Awori, came up with that. And that panel had a group of women with a lady who had cerebral palsy. And this woman, I mean, when I think of her, she walked onto the stage with a stick. She literally could not climb, but she climbed. She couldn't talk, but she talked. You know what I mean? And I listened to this one, and I'm like, she can do it, and you sit and complain all the time? What exactly is your issue? So sometimes these things force you to self-reflect introspectively. And the beauty about this is between you and your book.
Exactly.
And actually, you shouldn't let anybody have hold of this. It is you, your inner voice talking.
Exactly.
At the same time, for HR managers in the corporate environment, as an entrepreneur, this is a mentoring guide. Because you can set objectives with your mentor, and then you can track your progress. So I would say that this, so far I've read many, many books. I haven't had the opportunity to have the journal of a book, but this is the journal of a conference with panelists from Ghana, from Morocco, Nigeria, Kenya, men, talking about issues that we face every day. So practical. So practical. And we are going to organize training sessions for people who buy this book. Each book is 200 CDs. It's really very, very affordable considering what you can get out of it. And when you buy it, you get a training session to help you to leverage it in the best way possible. So I urge everyone, please just contact EWN. You go to our website, www.ewntree.com, and you get a copy.
Yesterday, Comfort said something. When the price of the book was mentioned, there were young people in the room who said, "Hey!" And she said something. She said, "This is an investment into your life. 200 CDs investment into your life." And this book can also be like a de-stressor. You know how we say your lips can lie, but your heart cannot lie.
No.
Your heart will be telling you the truth, and your mouth can choose to say something else. But you can't actually change the thoughts of your heart if there's anything like that, And that's what this book can do for you. And especially so if you're keeping it such that no other person is getting a hold of it, then you are able to translate the very deep things inside of you into the book, and then you can keep visiting it. And I love it, honestly.
Thank you.
I really want to make time for myself with it. Like, I'm going to pamper myself with
the
book. Joyce, before you come in, as part of de-stressing, and you can carry this book along if you're coming with us, we have, this is March, and it is also Ghana month, in as much as we are celebrating International Women's, I call it International Women's Month, because we're going to be doing a lot of women this month. Please, men, don't be angry. I know this morning, I'm sure you have listened into this conversation if you're a man, and you are excited because the nuggets that have been shared here, if your wives will pick it up and run with them, there'll be so much bliss in your home. So, encourage us to use the whole month to talk about women, and we'll have, such important conversations. So, we said we were wrapping up on, selling tickets for our Eastern Camp Adventure. We're taking people, camping, do something very different. When we say holidays, we were looking at, this 5-star hotel and things like that. This time around, we want to do something different. So on top of the Ebri Mountains, that's where we are pitching camp.
Oh, nice.
We're going to be having tent accommodation.
I love that.
Wow.
Yes, But when we move from Accra on Saturday, it's on Saturday. Hey, will I be here? We'll see about that. We'll move from Accra on Saturday. We go to Ewukugwa, that's Okomfanoche's birthplace. We go and learn about the history, and then we'll go to the Asinima Waterfalls. From Asinima Waterfalls, then we'll come to the campsite where people will be allocated their individual tents. And then we will have lunch, and then all the other activities will begin. There's going to be a jungle party with barbecue, with DJs on rotation. We're going to be watching movies. We're going to be doing a lot of, fun activities, just so we can wind down and face, the rest of the year. And on Sunday, before we come back to Accra, we'll go to the Safari Valley Eco Park and go and spend a lot of time there, watch all the animals, interact with nature, and then we will be on our way. We'll also have lunch at Safari Valley, and all of these is going for 1,500 cedis. So your transportation, access to the tourist sites, your full board meals, your tents, drinks, water, everything is taken care of. You just have to bring yourself. And so my team members, so I said we should close registration. They said, Edem, let's push a little bit. At least we can use 3 days to, wrap up. And so we have today, tomorrow, and Tuesday. Again, if you haven't, purchased, your Momo number is 059 303 8842. 059 303 8842. And if you're making payments, the name that will pop up will be Daniel Boyfield / Multimedia Group. And then you can reference Joy Camp and make your payment. If you want to use the short code, it is *714 *003#. And then you follow the prompts. *714 #, and follow the prompt. So please, we've opened it up a little bit. Between now and Tuesday, you can still make payments. 1,500 for everything I have talked about. Momo number is 059 303 8842. And the short code is *714 *003#. Joyce, you wanted to say something. We'll be wrapping up very soon.
Yes, I just wanted to say that it's very important, not just for our mental health, but for everybody else around us, for us to spend time with ourselves. So, taking this, sitting down and going through the exercises will just help you become a much, much better person.
Great.
And the other great thing is you can always go back and look at what you wrote and how far you have traveled. Because we get so busy, sometimes everything gets lost on us, and that's it. So buying a copy, as we have said, is truly an investment. But think about it, it's 12 different nuggets turned into these journaling exercises for 200 Ghana. It means you are spending about 16 Ghana a month.
Yeah.
On yourself. Come on, how much is lunch? And if you want to fast track the way you want to use it, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But if you don't have time and you just want to do about 1 nugget per month, it's full of, it's a series of exercises. That's all well and good. At the back of it, there's a tracker. So you can actually track, this is when I started it, and this is when I finished it.
This is good stuff.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. I have a lot of messages pouring in.
I see.
Loving the tips, advice, and real practical guidelines the ladies are sharing. I've shared the link. That's Yana. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you should listen to it over and over again. Hi, Edem. God bless you always for this morning's show on this Saturday. I've always learned something great. Started following the program since 2007. Philip, thank you so much. Good morning, Edem. And this to me is hashtag one edition of Home Affairs I've ever listened to. Period. What a panel. Thank you. And manifold blessings to all of you. This is Sisi Solomon. Thank you so much, Sisi. Oh my God. You should actually see how this show was birthed. Good morning, Edem and ladies.
It was a hijack. Yesterday, Edem was like, Janet.
I was trying to redeem myself.
I'm telling you, yesterday at 6 p.m. Edem, what about tomorrow? Janet, and I'm like, tomorrow? What time? She said 6 a.m. I said, are you kidding? She says no.
6 p.m. for 6 a.m.
Can you put the panel together?
It was around 3 p.m. Oh, but yeah, it's been a good one. And we'll be having more of these conversations, Maybe go by their offices, sit down, we can record and come and play back. I don't know about the waking up for them. I have done it for over 10 years, Daniela and I. But we'll bring you more of these conversations because we need to find the balance, of keeping our homes and pursuing our careers and making sure that we are excelling at all of them. You don't want to have a false balance where your career is flying up, and then when you close from work and you are going home, you're scared, or you move from the house, you're going to work, you know that you're going to have issues. We want to, and these people have done it. They have done it. They've been through it. They are still in there. Not to say that they have, perfect lives.
No.
They're just sharing their experiences and how they have navigated and how they have waded through it. We can pick nuggets from it and then do better with ourselves. But I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for coming this morning.
Thank you.
It's been
for
so
having
good.
us.
Please, is there how do people get the journal? You want to put that out again? Are they in bookshops? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
So what we'll be doing, we'll be going around corporates
Okay.
and pitching the journal to them. But www.edemknight-tay www.ewntree.com.
Okay.
And then when you reach out to us, we'll be able to get back to you. It's very key because when you buy one, we have to organize a training session for you. Yes.
Okay, great. And that's how we are wrapping up Home Affairs. I have some exciting news coming up for you, especially for those of you who will be getting married from the month of April. We have like honeymoon packages, like free honeymoon packages. Guess where we are taking you to? Blue Moon. Yes. Free honeymoon packages.
Can I get married again?
And we're planning to see if we can even get flights attached.
Oh, wow.
So once you're married, you get your flights right from everything paid. You're not paying anything. I'll bring you more on that next week. That is, it depends. Because I'll be going camping. But before I leave, the joy of every parent is to see their children cheerful and hearty. And to achieve this desire, every parent needs to ensure that their children are given nutritious foods that has the essential nutrients and multivitamins which can promote their welfare. One of such nutritious beverages is Vitamilk soy milk drink. Vitamilk soy milk is made from natural soybeans, which is a good source of plant protein, vitamin B1 and B2. Vitamilk has no artificial coloring, no artificial flavorings, and no preservatives. So choose Vitamilk Champ for your children because it has plant proteins and it is nutritious. Vitamilk comes in its regular soy milk drink, the multi-cereal with no caffeine, the choco, the banana, the strawberry, and you can also have it in the 250 mils and Vitamilk 1 liter Tetra Pak. Vitamilk is indeed a nutritious beverage that feels good anywhere, anytime. Thank you all very much for doing the listening, and this is where we draw the curtain down on Home Affairs. Daniela, thank you. And who was on social media for us? Jojo, thank you so very much. And to the technical team, everybody, Weekend City Show is up next. And then after Weekend City Show, there's News File. After News File, you have Sports Link. And then we have Showbiz A to Z. And Flashback will come on with Uncle Paul. And then DJ Black will close the day with Open House Party. So stay tuned in. And if you want to watch television, the only place you can sit today and enjoy your weekend is with Joy